hungries, it's Mod Threescoopes and welcome back to Mod's Talking VTubing Space! For my last video, I did mention that I wanted to talk about what happened to Miss Needy Juliet, who has now gained quite the infamous reputation of being a scalper in the VTuber space. Which, mind you, is a very big problematic problem in the Pokemon fandom and Pokemon card collectors. I didn't pay much attention to it before, considering I don't really collect the Pokemon cards. I just keep whatever I like, if it's a certain Pokemon that I like. Until a certain event happened a few weeks ago, when I went inside one of my local stores with someone and I saw scalpers in person for the very first time. They literally took everything, even from the toy section. They didn't leave anything left for anybody. And oh boy, was my friend pissed. He was super pissed. So just imagine something similar happening within the VTuber space, where a VTuber rigger would purchase adoptables and then sell them at really insane prices. Before I move on with tonight's VTubing space topic, as always, I would like to remind you guys to not go out of your way to harass anybody being talked about in the video. If you do, then you're no fan of mine, bugger! When they could have bought it at the original price, which was cheaper. A lot of people have complained in the VTuber space because usually those models end up being a potential buyer's dream model. That's only half of the issue. Now the other half, a majority can agree that when it comes to buying the models, then rigging them and selling them, there isn't anything wrong with that. Yeah, I agree with that. They are literally buying a product and making a better product with it. But upon discovery, it turns out Needy Juliet wasn't exactly following proper regulations. She was charging more than what she was supposed to. And you can just imagine if you were in the buyer's shoes, you would feel extremely pissed off too, right? A good example of this would be from one of the sellers that Needy Juliet bought from at the time. Take a look at this tweet. Dear Needy VT, you bought my model for 2K, which I was okay with. The issue stems from you charging the original 4K that you didn't pay for. You charged the buyer the original 4K price I was asking for, plus an extra 1K for add-ons you did. I have no issue with you charging extra for add-ons, but I do have an issue with you charging the original 4K that you didn't pay for. If you had charged the 2K that you paid for, plus an extra 1K for your add-ons, that would have been fine. But that's not what you did. You claimed I said it was okay, but I did not agree to you charging more than it's worth without the add-ons being of the price. This DM of you asking if you could charge more was right after you stated added things on. Look, because like I said, I don't have an issue with charging for add-ons. I did not in any way think it was okay to charge extra for what you didn't pay for, that the add-ons don't equal. Neither myself nor the person who bought from you was okay with this. I tried getting help from the artist and manager of said artist, but unfortunately, they couldn't help. They did, however, advise me to take it up with you, and you decided you saw no problem with what you did. Here's a screenshot of them finalizing their conversation about this. Needy Juliet states I was upfront with it being a lowball, that I would understand if you didn't want to, but you said a discount was fine, and you said me selling her for more is fine. I said it was fine under the assumption it would only be charged for the add-ons. The artist and manager said they couldn't help with this situation, but that I needed to take it up with you. I can't help what you assumed. I was very open and transparent about my intentions. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Whether or not some miscommunication might have happened here, don't you guys think it's a little scummy to be selling it at 4K when you didn't choose to purchase it at 4K yourself? 4K, that's a lot of lunch money. It's not easy to drop 4K unless you're having it easy. What also doesn't help out for her case is that the model was already originally rigged by the seller, but she wanted to be the one to rig it herself so she could put her name on it. And people are agreeing that makes it a lot more worse now, on top of doubling the price for what she was supposed to originally pay for. For extra detail, the seller is also chronically ill, and of course you can just imagine the insane amount of medical bills you have to pay if you're in that type of condition. So that summarizes to making a deal and bada bee bada boom, sell it at 2K. Soon after, more and more people started coming out about their own experiences with Needy Juliet. Take this one for example. She commissioned a custom design from me for $135. I got $200 for the rush. The request was similar to her model, Fox Galaxy Moon, and I was sure I was doing it for her because we hadn't discussed anything else. When I sent the finished character and asked if it was okay, she said she loved her. But the next day I saw that the character was already for sale for $270. I didn't even have time to send her the files, and I don't know why she charged extra because she didn't discuss it with me. I thought it was just a mistake, but now I see that it's not just me. And then they provided a screenshot. And by the sound of it, there was no extra work done on it. They were just reselling the art for extra money. So there's definitely no excuse for this one. okay, from what I'm seeing so far, she pays for these adoptables, and then she would just get a little bit more money back from it if she charges extra. Well, I say little for this case, but the last one, where she was supposed to originally pay 4K but pay 2K instead, and then, yeah. Anyway, she paid $200 for the rush fee, and then she resells it for $270. She earns an extra $70 from that, but for this case, she didn't add on anything to it. No rigging this time. It was just the art. She just bought the art and then resold it for an additional $70 on top of the $200 for the rush fee from the original seller. Oh, I get it now. I'm sure you guys are coming to your own conclusions on what you're getting from this. With all of this stacking up together, people are starting to question her sincerity when it came to the giveaways, and if it was just a way to divert what she was really trying to do by purchasing the adoptables and then selling them the way she was doing it. What I find interesting about this is that there is a good handful of people who do believe it's really nobody's business on what she's doing. As in, well, it's just how the marketing works. That's how business is done. You think she's the only one doing it? I get that marketing and companies are not the cleanest and most innocent things on this planet, but I personally think they're not realizing we're talking about a single individual here who has this image of being someone who does a lot for the community. So what do you think the public's reaction is going to be when they see someone with this type of image acting like a scalper? There was this screenshot taken of her even admitting it at the time. If you're wondering why I'm buying so many adopts when I'm so low on funds, it's because I'm trying very hard to sell them as adoptables, with my rigging fee added to make profit. I swear I'm not just wasting money collecting adoptables. Okay, fine, normally I do that, but not this time. By the end of all of this, she did end up trying to make an apology, which, by the way, I can no longer pull up, because apparently she ended up deleting it, along with everything else on her account. I think she totally rebranded, and her tweets are now protected. Grinding commissions. Last time I heard, she said she was going to graduate. Oh, I wonder why. When you were making that much money, you wouldn't want to be doing anything else, right? I think what finally sealed the nail to this coffin was that she lied about saving up for a trip to Korea, when in actuality, she was saving up to bring her boyfriend over from Korea. Oh, you're in Korea, that's awesome. Sadly, I won't be going there. I'm bringing a Korean to me. Heh, it's just easier to call it a Korean trip than to say, a trip for my boyfriend to come visit me in America from Korea. Heh, what's what the heck? Like it's something so cocky and smug to be about. And then why would you post something like that in public after claiming you're having a Korean trip in less than 2 months from now? I don't get it. I don't get it. Is this supposed to be taken out of context? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you expose yourself like that? I don't get it. Unless this was supposed to be an inside joke. I mean, I did follow her, so, no, I'm sorry. I still don't get it. Unless at the time this was supposed to be meant as an inside joke, and it was before all of this calling out stuff had happened. That's the only thing I could think of. That would be the most logical reason, but judging by these tweets saying making people think you're saving up for a 3-month trip to Korea multiple times, but actually just having someone over to visit you is misleading and bad. Be more straightforward with it in your main posts. Also, raising money for something and then going into the comments to say you're not actually doing nothing and saying you just lied because it's easier is a bad thing to do. Okay, that probably debunks my theory then. Nobody in the comment section is coming up to defend her, so I guess nobody can actually debunk this. One thing's for sure, by the end of all of this, she's definitely not going to make the same amount of money as she did previously, so coming back? So I really don't see the point of her coming back unless she genuinely enjoys being a part of the VTuber community. And the money... the money is forever a lost cause. Scalpers in general are never going to be seen in a good light, so I personally think if she is genuine and she's learned her lesson from it, I don't see a problem with her coming back if she can do better. But the problem is, the internet never forgets, even over the most simplest and nothing of mistakes. I can't really say this is nothing, but if she's willing to put in the work and show that she's willing to do better, I don't see a problem with it. But let's be honest, most of the time, especially in the VTuber space, it's hard to tell when someone's genuinely sorry. It is what it is. All I'm going to say is, don't let greed consume you, or it's going to bite you back. Anyway, this is where I'm ending the video. Feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know what your own thoughts are in the comment section down below, my dear hungries. Licky lick. Bye bye!